So we're indoors now because it's too hot outside and my laptop is overheating. So welcome to my apartment, my space, featuring my plants. These are my babies. So today we're going to be talking about Devan Shimoyama, who is an artist from Philadelphia who teaches at Carnegie Mellon University. Devan Shimoyama, he creates art based off of experiences, and he uses the people he knows for points of reference. He also uses their experiences as well as his in his work, which honestly kind of always intersect in a way. He's another artist that uses a variety of mediums to portray these experiences. He uses his glitter, or he uses cutouts of like family photos or like stock photos he finds online, and he even uses rhinestones in his images to create these beautiful, majestic portraits of Black men. And his preferred medium was actually called a crutch by his professor at Yale. This style, these mediums he used, like rhinestones, glitter, oil paint, cutouts, and flowers, like it works, supposed to represent the clothing and the wear of what people in the LGBTQ community wear. He is able to tell like a deeper story, like the intersection of being Black and also being gay. In his exhibition at the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's titled Crybaby, and in this whole exhibition he challenges what Black masculinity is by using images from barbershops and having Black men in barbershop chairs. Now this entire exhibition is also an installation, as there are tears in the background. There is even a sculpture that is supposed to be a memorial for Trayvon Martin, who was murdered in Florida by a white supremacist. This is to represent the flowers we place on corners when one of ours have fallen. He also has a flowered swing next to the hoodie. This young boy, it shows a sense of innocence, which a lot of Black people aren't afforded. These men in the paintings have glitter tears falling down on their face as they suppress who they are in these masculine spaces. Not only is he challenging what Black masculinity is, I feel like he is celebrating Black culture at the same time, and you can do both at the same time. And he even says, I've been thinking about how the Black male is much more complex than has been perceived in the media. These paintings aren't supposed to be something negative. It's just like a different layer of what it is to be Black and what it is to be a Black male. But then what it is to be a Black gay male. So how he celebrates Black culture, these paintings, by using olive oil, a spray that we use when we go to hair shops. He has a poster of hairstyles that Black people can choose from when you go in these barber shops or hair shops. He has the legendary Obama Hope poster in the background. When he was running for president, we all felt a little hope, and we all felt that, Black people can be president too. And then in this exhibition, he even has a painting of a friend of his that appears in a lot of his paintings. His friend is cutting his own hair in the privacy of his own house. Even Devan says that he doesn't go to barbershops often because of the atmosphere, the often negative atmosphere in these Black male spaces. Sexism, homophobia, and misogyny. But he shows his friend cutting his own hair because he said that he had to learn how to cut his own hair. He had to go to his uncle to cut his hair because he felt like he wasn't accepted in these spaces, and he had to suppress who he was just so he wouldn't face any backlash from anybody in the room. He says, I always felt like I needed to recloset myself in these spaces. And that just shows like our experience as Black people isn't homogeneous, and we shouldn't treat it as such. So he's just adding another layer of what we experience and that's why I wanted to talk about him. So, in recent Shimoyama works, he is intersecting art and literature. So, he's been reading Black futurist books by Octavia Butler, and he has these images of people, Black people, holding books in their everyday lives. He kind of makes connections by the content in the books and the reader. In Shimoyama's exhibition titled Shh, he had an interview with Antwaun Sargent, and I just want to read a quote from this New York review. In Baskets Yet to Be Woven, 2019, a woman sits cross-legged in an armchair in front of a set of windows framing a purple storming sky. Her feet are high-key yellow and her head is red hot, suggesting how Shimoyama told me temperature zones in the body might react to the Black feminist educator Alexis Pauline Gumbs' archive after the end of the world, which rests on a tiny table beside her. So Shimoyama is using literature to dive deeper into what these characters in his paintings are feeling, and the things they are learning and how it connects to their current world, like with the purples in the sky and the red rain, which is normally used as tears, but in this painting he uses it as rain, and that kind of shows like climate change and the rising temperature in her body, the rising temperature of the world. So he's just connecting the lives of Black people with the world around them, and he's using literature to do that. And in these paintings, there are other authors that appear: Roger Reeves, Malcolm Gladwell, and this Soul of a Nation book that was a traveling exhibition appears in his portraits. Black people are being in touch with other thinkers and move makers. Like for me, reading the Soul of a Nation book is definitely showing me that Black artists exist, because when you take art history class, they are often ignored in these time periods where they very much were creating art in. I don't know, I love that Shimoyama is kind of exploring this world of literature and using art to amplify and bring up these ideas that Black people are often thinking about, and that he's thinking about. That is Devan Shimoyama. I've seen him grow as an artist since 2018. His recent works kind of show him in quarantine, experiencing quarantine with his partner and with his 2 dogs. He is dedicated to showing the world what he's experiencing at that day and time. Yeah, that was Devan. Let me know what you think. What do you think about his art? And thank you for watching. This